Hello, my dear students. Myself, Dr. Pitambar Humne, founder Botany for You, and working as Associate Professor and Head Department of Botany, Dharampet MP Dev Memorial Science College, Nagpur, Maharashtra, India. I welcome you all in this online platform for the students of Life Sciences Botany for You. Friends, in last 4 lectures, we have seen the different MCQs based on the 4 different units of the paper 1. From today, we will see the MCQ type of the questions based on the paper 2 of the semester 2 botany syllabus of RTM Nagpur University. This paper includes morphology of angiosperms and floriculture. There are 3 different units on the morphology of angiosperms and 1 unit is on floriculture, that is newly added as a skill based education. So, if you are new or not yet subscribed our YouTube channel, then kindly like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel Botany for You. If you want to associate with us, then you can join the Telegram group with the help of link given in the description, so that you can get the assistance in literature, that is PDF books are available on our group, as well as the different career opportunities in life sciences in India and abroad. So let's see the syllabus of the first unit of this paper 2, that is morphology of angiosperms and floriculture. In this unit, that is the unit 1, it is based on vegetative morphology, that is from the morphology of angiosperm, as we have seen that the unit 1, then unit 2 and unit 3 are based on the morphology of angiosperm and the floriculture on in the unit 4. So this vegetative morphology includes the root, stem and leaf. The root contain the taproot and adventitious root, then modification of root for the storage and respiration, then shape, surface and nature of the stem, then branching, that is the monopodial and the sympodial type of the branching, then modification of stem, which includes the runner, rhizome, tuber and bulb. The leaf contain the topic, that is the structure of typical leaf, then types, that simple and compound, then types of phyllotaxy, then venation, then modification of leaf, that is 2 types, that is the tendril and the phylloid. If you want to see the different lectures, then 3 units are provided in the form of lectures on our YouTube channel, so that you can watch that lecture and get the benefit of this online platform Botany for You. The first question, that is monocots can be distinguished from the dicot. If you see the monocot and the dicot and find the difference in between them, then in monocot there are the presence of adventitious root system and in a dicot taproot system, then parallel venation and in a dicot reticulate type of the venation. Here the type of stem is not the distinguishing feature for the monocot as well as the dicot, and hence the type of the root and the type of venation is the character through which we can distinguish the monocot from the dicot, and hence both A and C are the answers for this question. Then arrangement of leaves on stem or axis is called as. If we see the definition of this in a literal condition or the manner, then the mode of arrangement of the leaves on the stem or the axis, and that is known as the phyllotaxy, and hence B is the correct answer for this question. Here the mode of arrangement of the veins in the leaf, that is known as the venation, and the mode of attachment of the filament to the anther, that is known as the fixation. Then which of the following leaf venation midribs are more than one? Say for example, if we see the leaf, and in this leaf here there is a presence of the one midrib, then the leaf is known as the unicostate. But if at the same time there are the many midrib which are developing from the base of the leaf, so then if the midribs are more, then it is known as the multicostate type of the condition. If the veins are meeting at the apex, then it is known as the convergent. And if these veins are running away from each other, say for example, if this is a leaf, then here these are the different midribs. So these veins are running away from each other. So this is known as the divergent condition, and this is a convergent condition. So this is not related with it. So it may the convergent or it may the divergent when there are the more midribs, but specifically we can say that it is a multicostate type of the condition. So reticulate multicostate convergent or the reticulate multicostate divergent is the correct or the answer for this one, and hence both A and B is the answer for this question. Then leaf-like or scale-like structure present at the base of the leaf. Say for example, this is the stem and this is the leaf. So leaf-like or scale-like structure which is present at the base of the leaf. So such type of the structure. If we see this structure which is present at the base of the leaf, then it is known as the stipple, and hence the correct answer for this question is a stipple. A leaf with short stalk is called as. There are the three different types on the basis of the type of the or length of the stalk. This is one type which is known as the petiolate. Then this is another type in which the stalk is short, and the third type in which the stalk of the leaf is found to be absent, and that is known as the sessile. So if there is presence of a short stalk, then it is known as the subsessile, and hence B is the correct answer for this question. Then in hibiscus, the margin of leaf is, if you see the leaf of the hibiscus, then here such a type of the margin is there, and this type of the margin is known as serrate margin, and hence serrate is the correct answer for this question. Then which of the following phyllotaxy is called as alternate type of the phyllotaxy? If we see the type of the phyllotaxy which is classified into the alternate, opposite and the hold. See in the ABCD there is first A, then O and then W. We have to give the number 1, 2 and 3. That here the development of the one leaf from each node, then development of two leaves from each node, and development of 3 or more than 3 leaves from each node. So it becomes now the alternate, opposite and the hold. So this alternate phyllotaxy is again classified into distichous condition, tristichous condition and pentastichous condition. So 1/2 phyllotaxy is a distichous, 1/3 is a tristichous and 2/5 is a pentastichous type of the condition. So there is a availability of the lecture on the leaf on our YouTube channel, so you can go through to understand properly the type of the different phyllotaxis. So all these are the type of the alternate type of the phyllotaxy, and hence D is the correct answer for this question. Then when the successive pair of leaves are in right angle to each other, then the phyllotaxy is called as pair of leaves. So when there will the pair of leaves in the opposite. So the opposite type of the phyllotaxy is classified into the two types, that is the opposite superposed, and the another type of the phyllotaxy, that is the opposite, in which the successive pair of leaves are present in a right angle, and that is known as the opposite decussate. So here the right angle to each other, then it is known as, so it is the opposite decussate, and hence C is the correct answer for this question. Then which of the following statement is correct with respect to the phyllotaxy? As we have seen earlier that the phyllotaxy is nothing but the mode of arrangement of the leaves on the stem or the axis. It depends upon the simple and compound leaves. It is wrong one. It is not depend upon that. It is depend upon the total number of leaves develops from each node. That is one leaf, two leaf, or the three or more leaves. Then it depends upon the number of leaves develops from each node. This is the correct statement. Then it depends upon the presence or absence of the stipule. This is also not related to that of the phyllotaxy, and it can be only used for the leaf is stipulate or the exstipulate, and hence B is the correct answer for this question. In which of the following phyllotaxy more than two leaves are developed from each node? If you see the development of more than two leaves, then it is known as the hold type of the phyllotaxy. Development of one leaf from each node in the alternate, development of two leaves from the opposite, and three or more than three. Then the veins developing from the base and running away from each other, as we have seen earlier, that if there is a such type of the leaf in which the veins which are developing from the base and they are running away from each other. So such a type of the condition in which the veins are running away, that is the away, you can remember it, that is in Marathi dur, and from the D, that is the divergent. So the divergent is the correct answer, and for the convergent you can remember it, the close, when they are coming close to each other, then it is known as the convergent, so that you can remember forever. Then Gloriosa superba shows the modification of leaf. If you see the Gloriosa superba, which is the monopod, in which such a type of the leaves are present, and in which the terminal part of the leaf is coiled, and such a type of the coiling of the leaf is responsible for the formation of the tendril, and hence it is the modification of the tendril. The root developing from the radical is called as. Basically there are the two different types of the root, that is one is taproot and second one is a adventitious type of the root. The taproot is a characteristic feature of the dicotyledon, and the adventitious root is a characteristic feature of the monocotyledon. If you see the seed, inside the seed there is a presence of embryo, and in the embryo there is a presence of embryo axis. The upper part of the embryo axis is the plumule, which grow into the stem, and the lower part, which is the radical, which develops into the root. So this is the part of plumule and this is the part of the radical. R for radical and R for the root, means the root is developing from the radical. And if the root is directly developing and remain persist forever, then it is known as the taproot system, which is found in the dicotyledon, and hence the taproot is the root which develops from the radicle. Then which of the following types of root shows modification of root for the storage? If you see the storage root, then we have the different type of the storage roots, that is the conical root, fusiform root, napiform root, tuberous root, then fasciculated root, annulated root, nodulose root, etc. So these are the different type of the roots which are modification of the storage. Hence here the conical, fusiform and napiform, all these are the modification of the root for the storage, and hence all the above become the answer for this question. Then onion is a modification of stem and is an example of. If you see the onion, there is a presence of the reduced stem, and from which there is a development of the many leaves which are fleshy, and this is known as the bulb. So the bulb is correct answer for this question. Phyllodes is nothing but a leaf modification meant for photosynthesis, and it is a xerophytic adaptation because here the leaves are reduced and the petiole is modified. So such a type of the condition is present in the xerophyte to reduce the rate of the transpiration, and hence B is the correct answer for this question. Bulb is modification of, earlier we have seen that bulb is nothing but the modification of the stem and not the root or the leaves, and hence B is the correct answer for this question. Veins of leaves are useful for, if you see the any leaves, then in the leaf here there are the presence of the many veins, midrib and the laterals, and these are provided with the phloem and the xylem. Xylem is responsible for translocation of the water as well as to provide the mechanical support, and the phloem is responsible for the translocation of the organic food, and hence the mechanical support is the correct function, transport of water and the transport of the organic nutrient. So transport of the water is the characteristic feature of the xylem, and organic nutrient, it is the function of the phloem, and the mechanical support is a function of the xylem, which are present in the veins, and hence all the above become the answer for this question. Then is an edible underground stem. So the potato is a stem, sweet potato is a root, groundnut is a fruit, and the question is asked, that is the stem, and hence the correct answer become the potato. Then match the following. Earlier we have seen that the reticulate type of the venation is a characteristic feature of the dicotyledon. Then parallel venation is a characteristic feature of the monocotyledon, that is the monocot leaf. Then rhizome is a modification of stem, and the phyllodes is a modification of petiole into the leaf, and hence here all the pairs are correctly matched. Then match the following. The first one, that is the runner, which is found in the durva, that is known as the cynodon dactylon. Then rhizome, which is found in the ginger. Then tuber, that is the stem tuber, is found in the potato, and bulb is nothing but the onion, or the onion is an example of the bulb, and hence all the pairs are now correctly matched. Which of the following statement is correct? monopodial and sympodial branching are types of lateral or axillary branching. This is correct one. Then monopodial branching develops single central trunk. Because of that, mono means the single, podium means the trunk or the stem. So this is also the correct. Then uniparous or the biparous are the types of sympodial branching. So in uniparous there is a development of such type of the branching, and in a biparous there is a development of such type of the branching. So both are the type of the sympodial type of the branching, and hence this is also the correct one. All these three are the correct, and hence the D is correct answer. Conical fleshy roots are found in. So if you see the conical type of the root, then you will find that such type of the structure will be formed, and such a type of the structure, that is the conical, is found in the carrot root, and hence the carrot is the correct answer for this question. The sweet potato is the example of the tuberous root. Ginger is an example of the rhizome, and the beetroot is an example of the napiform root. Then match the following pairs. The conical root, as above we have seen, is an example, that is the carrot. Then fusiform root, example is a radish. Then napiform root, example is a beetroot, and the tuberous root, example is a sweet potato. Then primary roots and its branches constitute. If you see the primary root is the root which is developing from the radical, and earlier we have seen that if the root is developing from the radical, then it is known as the taproot, and hence the taproot system is the primary root system which is developing from the radical and found in the dipod. Then fleshy roots of sweet potato are, if you see the sweet potato, then such type of the fleshy roots are there, and these are the example of the tuberous roots. Then which of the following roots stores food? Number 1, fibrous root of the wheat do not store the food. Then stilt root of the sugarcane do not store, they are responsible for the mechanical support. Then prop root of the ficus, that is also not correct because it is responsible to provide the mechanical support to the horizontal branches of the Ficus bengalensis. Then fasciculated type of the root of the dahlia or even mirabilis jalapa, that is a 4 o'clock plant, which is an example of the storage root, and hence D is the correct answer for this question. Then pneumatophores possesses. If you see the pneumatophores, it is an example of the respiratory roots and found in the plants which are growing in marshy places which are devoid of the oxygen. So these possess the lenticels, which are also known as the breathing pores, and hence the lenticel is a correct answer for this question. Then root formed from prolongation of radical. Earlier we have seen the root which is developing from the radical, that is known as the taproot, and the taproot is nothing but the primary root, and hence A is the correct answer for this question. Then nodulated roots make the plant rich in. The nodulated roots are responsible to store the protein inside it, and hence these roots are proteinous in nature as they stored protein inside it. Then root does not show. If you see the distinction of the primary and secondary root, so that is present in the root. Then the distinction of node and the internode, which is the characteristic feature of the stem and not the root, and hence it is not the characteristic feature of the root. Then tertiary roots and the rootlet, which is also present in the root, and hence B is correct answer for this question, that the root does not show the node and the internode. Then pneumatophores occur in the family. The pneumatophores are found in the plant, that is the Rhizophora, which is the plant growing in the marshy places. And this Rhizophora belong to the family Rhizophoraceae, and hence B is the correct answer for this question. Then root is distinguishable from the stem in first one, that is the having root cap, which is the characteristic feature of the root, which is not found in the stem. Then having the root hairs, which is the characteristic feature of the root for the absorption of the water and the mineral. Though hairs are present on the stem, but not the root hairs, they are the hairs on the stem. Then absence of node and the internode, as we have seen earlier, the presence of the node and the internode is a characteristic feature and they are absent in the root, and hence all the above shows the characteristic feature of the root. Then radish has, earlier we have seen that the carrot is responsible to form the root, that is the conical type, and radish is responsible to form the root, and that is the fusiform type of the root, and hence the carrot is responsible to form the fusiform type of the shape of the root. Then which of the following possesses the tuberous root? Earlier we have seen that the tuberous type of the root are present in the Mirabilis jalapa, that is commonly called as 4 o'clock plant, and hence B is the correct answer for this question. Then which of the following is not the modification of root for the storage? See, not the modification for the storage. Tuberous root for the storage, napiform root for the storage, and conical root for the storage, but the stilt root are for the extra support, that is the mechanical support, and hence D is the correct answer for this question, as it is not the modification for the storage. In Ipomia batata, that is commonly called as the sweet potato, the food is stored in. If you see the Ipomia batata or the sweet potato, it is the modification of the root for the storage, and that is a tuberous type of the roots, and hence it is a modification, that is the root tubers. A modification of leaf is, if you see the modification of the leaf, that is the phylloid, which is the modification of the leaf. Then phylloclade is a modification of the stem. Pneumatophore is a modification of the root. In phylloid, here the petiole looks like the leaf, and the original leaf, which is compound, is not found in the plant, but only it is present in the earlier stage of the plant development from the seed, and hence this type of the modification of the petiole into leaf-like structure, that is known as the phylloid, which is the modification of the leaf. Then which of the following is not a stem modification? See, not the stem modification. Rhizome is ginger, rhizome of the ginger, yes, it is stem modification. Then runner of cynodon, that is the same stem modification. Then pitcher of the Nepenthes is a leaf modification, and hence no. Then tuber of potato, it is also the stem modification, that is yes. So the correct answer become the pitcher, as it is not the stem modification, it is the modification of the leaf. Then monopodial stem is produced due to the activity of, if you see the development of the central stem or the single podium or the stem, and the branches are developing from the lateral side. So this single stem is present because of the apical bud, and hence the apical bud is the correct answer for this question. The stem is very much reduced in. If we see the rhizome, see the ginger, which is an example of the rhizome, it is well developed. Then runner of the cynodon, which is also the well developed, having the leaves on the nodal region, and bulb having the reduced stem, and the fleshy leaves are developing from it. So here this is the correct answer for this question. And in a tuber, that is the potato, again it is well developed stem. So C is the correct answer for this question. The sensitive thread-like structure found in climbers which can coil around a support are called as. If you see the Momardica carentia, that is the Karela. So here from the stem there is a development of such type thread-like structure and which are coiled. So these are known as the tendril. So here these are the structures which are commonly called as the tendril. Then in a twinners, the twining structure is, there is a difference in between the climber and the twinners. Climbers have the tendrils, while the twinners itself stem has the ability to twine around the support, and hence the sensitive stem which is responsible to twine around the support, which is the characteristic feature of the twiner. The potato tuber is an underground stem because it bears. So many times you might have question in the mind that the why potato is considered as a modification of the stem. So if you see the potato on which there are the presence of such type of the eyes, and these eyes are nothing but the buds. So in the rainy season you might have seen in the home that these buds are germinate to produce the new plant, and there is a development of the buds only from the stem and not from the roots, and hence here the buds on the nodal region of the tuber, it shows the modification of the stem. Then underground stem are primarily meant for, if you see the plant life cycle, then the underground stem is responsible to keep the plant alive in the adverse condition. When the temperature is high and absence of the rainfall, in such a cases the above ground part of the plant body get dry, but the underground part remain present till the till the favorable condition. Such a type of the situation or the condition is known as the perennation, and hence the correct answer for this question is a perennation. Stem is specialized to perennate and store food in. So groundnut is the fruit which is developing inside the ground. Then ginger is a rhizome, and which is the modification of the stem for the storage. Then beet is an example of the root, and sugarcane is growing above the ground and not the underground for the storage. So if we see the perennation means it is growing inside the soil. So the ginger, which is an example of the rhizome, which is specially designed for the perennation of the plant body. Then what is wrong about rhizome? Rhizome store the food. This is correct one because it is the modification of the stem for the storage of the food. Then it has node and the internode. If you see the ginger, you will find that there are the presence of the node and the internode, which is the characteristic feature of the stem. Then it bears foliage or the scaly leaves. This is also the correct one. And it does not possess the bud. This is the wrong one because of the buds which are present on the rhizome. It can again germinate to form the new plant body. and hence the D is the wrong one with respect to the rhizome. Then which of the following is not modification of root for the storage? See, modification of root for the storage. Sweet potato is an example of the root modification. Potato is an example of the stem modification. Turnip, root modification, and carrot, root modification. So the stem, that is the potato, is not the modification of the root for the storage, and as it is a stem modification. Then which of the following is correct for opposite phyllotaxy? As we have seen earlier, opposite phyllotaxy means there is a development of two leaves from each node. That the development of two leaves from each node, that is the correct one. Then development of one leaf from each node, that is alternate phyllotaxy, and development of three or more leaves from each node, and that is known as the whole phyllotaxy. So the first one is the correct answer for this question. Then petiole modified for the photosynthesis. So we have seen earlier that it is the phylloid which is found in the Acacia species. So venation is, if you see the venation is nothing but the arrangement of the veins in the leaf. So this is an example of the reticulate venation, and this is the example of the parallel venation, and this arrangement of the veins is known as the venation. So the arrangement of veins on the lamina, which is the correct answer for the venation. Arrangement of leaves on the stem, that is known as the phyllotaxy and not the venation, and hence A is the correct answer for this question. Then match the following pairs. First one, that is the fasciculated type of the root. The fasciculated type of the root are present in the asparagus, or the asparagus is an example for the fasciculated roots. Then moniliforms root are present in the Momardica carentia, that is the Karela. Then annulated type of the roots are present in the Ipecac, and the nodulose type of the roots are present in the Curcuma. So now these are correctly paired. Then which of the following statement is correct? That the pneumatophores are called as the respiratory root, that is correct one, because they are growing negatively geotropic to absorb the oxygen, as they are growing in the marshy places which is devoid of the oxygen. Pneumatophores are negatively geotropic. This is also the correct one. They are growing away from the soil. Then pneumatophores possess breathing pores, that is known as the lenticels, that we have seen in earlier questions, and it is also the correct one, and hence all the above become the answer for this question. A monocot showing reticulate venation is, you should remember this name of the plant. Specifically this question is added so that you can remember one of the plant name in which the reticulate venation is present, but it is from the monocot. As we have seen, the reticulate type of the venation is a characteristic feature of the dicot and not the monocot. So the reticulate type of the venation is present in the Smilax, which is the monocot, while Zimeth, bamboo, and the Cyanoodon, in which there is a presence of parallel type of the venation. In which of the following plant decompound leaves are present? As we know, there are pinnately compound leaves are classified into the unipinnate, bipinnate, tripinnate, multipinnate, and the decompound type on the basis of the development of the leaflets from the different rachis. So the decompound type of the leaves, in which we are unable to distinguish the leaf into unipinnate, bipinnate, or the tripinnate. So such type of the leaves are present in the coriander. Then in which of the following the odd number of the leaflets are present? Say for example, if this is a unipinnate compound leaf in which there are the presence of 7 leaflets. So this is known as the odd leaflet. So the number of leaves are odd. So this is known as the imparipenate, and if there will be the presence of even number of leaves, then it is known as the peripenate. So the unipinnate bipinnate is not related with this one. The imparipinnate is the correct answer, and hence both are the answer, that is the unipinnate imparipinnate or bipinnate imparipinnate. Both A and B become the answer for this question. When the apex of the leaf is very much elongated, then it is called as. Sometimes in some leaves you will find that the apex is long. So such a type of the long apex is known as the cuspidate, and hence C is the correct answer for this question. When the margin of leaf is provided with the hairs, then it is known as. In some leaves the margin is provided with such a type of the hairs, and if such a hairs are present at the margin, then leaf is known as ciliate. So the ciliate margin, and hence C is the correct answer. The leaf apex bearing spine is called as. In some leaf, very specifically in the monocots like the palm, here at the apex it end into the stiff spine. So such a type of the apex which end into the stiff spine, that is known as the mucronate type of the apex. Then which of the following type of the phyllotaxy is occur in Nerium? In Nerium you may find such a type of the development of the linear type of the leaves, and there is development of 3 leaves from each node. And earlier we have seen development of one leaf, that is alternate, development of 2 leaf, that is opposite, and development of 3 or more leaves, that is known as the hold type of the phyllotaxy. And hence, as in the Nerium there is a development of the 3 leaves from the node, that is known as the hold type of the phyllotaxy. So friends, here we have to finish the 60 MCQs based on the unit 1. I am confident that this lecture will be useful to you in understanding the vegetative morphology of angiosperm, and also will help you in preparation of your online examination conducted by the university. If you like this lecture and getting advantage or benefit of this lecture, then kindly like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel Botany for You, and also press bell icon for the alerts of different lectures to be uploaded on different life sciences titles. Thanks a lot once again for watching our lectures on this YouTube channel. If you want to associate with us, then don't forget to join the Telegram group with the link given in the description. Thank you very much.